I like.
Recording in progress.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Whiskey Sour. Wait, shit, I can't even think today. This has been a day. Because I was like, wait, what's the name of my show? Whiskey Sour Libations and Conversation. I literally have had, I'm so drowsy today. Been a long day. How you doing, friend? It's been a long time for those watching. This is the bestie, VP, VP, the Gemini.
You guys know me. I've been here plenty of times.
Hey, we might have a new viewer and we might have a new listener, so they might not know who you are, Mr. Vacay. How are you this week?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Sinuses a little bit bothering your girl. I've been feeling kind of like, oh, I probably shouldn't have been driving today, to be honest, because I was dizzy as fuck.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm very serious.
Dizzy because of the drowsiness?
Yeah, okay, so I think I low-key have a slight case of vertigo. I definitely went to the doctor several times about this, the ears, nose, and throat doctor, about my sinuses, my ears ringing a little bit. I feel like there's sometimes fluid in my ear, and I can put a Q-tip in and I can take it out and it's wet. So I'm like, I might have a slight case of vertigo. I don't know.
I didn't know vertigo had anything to do with it.
So vertigo will throw your equilibrium off. So it will, sometimes it's like you get dizzy spells sometimes. Rachel has vertigo. So
I have it slightly, fairly slightly. I don't get it often, but like I thought most people get this like when they been sitting down for too long, they move too fast, and it's like, oh, it happens to me like every time I like do something, all of a sudden move too fast, or it's the weirdest thing.
Nigga, I could be sitting still and all of a sudden I'm dizzy. And
I think I get that.
I'm like, is there an earthquake?
That's so weird.
I remember one time when my old coworker, I was like, cause she lives closer to me. And I said, Jackie, was there an earthquake or a tremor or something like that? She's like, oh my God, I thought I was tripping. I thought it was my vertigo. So, I'm gonna go get a second opinion by somebody, because I went to that particular physician several times. They took a camera up my passageways, all of that. So yeah, I gotta get it together. I don't have a deviated septum. I'm just tired of these random moments of like feeling like I'm just like my brain is floating and my eyes and my ears, like, man. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What else is new?
I don't know.
I really hate you. Well, every time you see, VP here, it's gonna be some bullshit. It's gonna be a lot of pop culture things that we're gonna kick, because we love talking about that shit offline, and it makes for such a great episode. And it's been such a very crazy week. It's been a lot of bullshit happening. And I'm just like, is it the shadow of retrograde that's making people act extra crazy? Or is it just...
I think it's cancer. I think it's cancer season. I don't know. I feel like cancer season does something to people.
Yes, it makes them very bitchy and emotional for no fucking reason. I hate it. Can we just skip to Leo, please? Because I'm over this shit already. Even in my personal life, so much bullshit has happened. I'm just like, I am, whatever this is, Lord, take it up off of me, because I'm over it. I feel like every day it's been some bullshit.
Right. So, but overall, it's been a crazy year already. It's been a crazy year. It's been a crazy month. It's been like the summer, my birthday is in the summer. So I don't even know what Gemini season gives, really. I feel like it's like a fun time.
Turn up.
Right. I feel like most people are like in a turn up mood. I've gained like 2, almost 3 pounds because I've just been like kicking it and eating and drinking. So I'm like it's July now. And the 4th of July is over. So I'm like, okay, let me like calm it back down. But I definitely noticed like every year it seems like cancer season comes along and like people just be wilding. Like,
Wow.
I try not to deal with people around that time.
I know. I wish if I could literally work from home that entire, honestly, for the rest of my life, but mainly during this time, because even at the office, like the energy, like one of my coworkers came in today and was like, if you ever need to vent, like I feel like you just, it's be stuff you want to say, but you're like, don't say it. He's like, you can always come back to photo because we all in the thick of it back there. And I'm just like, well, in that case, but even one of my other coworkers, she came in and she was saying something. I'm like, what is going on? I said, see, this is why I be at home working and staying to myself.
Exactly.
Yes. Let's just jump into the mess. So did you watch Versus? Because you normally my go-to. Because I watched it.
Well, which one? Because I've been kind of in and out of some of them.
This past weekend for 4th of July, you know, Essence is doing Essence Fest. I think a smaller version in New Orleans. So this past week's Versus was with motherfucking Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat.
Yes. So I remember I found out about it. I think it was like a few days ago, and I tweeted about it. And I was like, "Oh, I know Don will be watching this because I know you a big Bobby Brown fan." I didn't even know until later that it was thrown by Essence. I just thought, "Oh, okay, it's just another Versus." But I was in and out. I got the majority of it, but I was in and out. I watched, the majority of it enough to, and then I saw some of the other people reviews, like I know the Breakfast Club talked about it. I know Wendy talked about it, I think. So, yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Now, Lucretia came calling while I was watching it. And I'm like, Mom, I have to go. Bobby Brown is on the TV. Like, she's like, what? And she's like, you gonna talk to me? I was like, Mom, you're making me miss it. Like, I have to go. And oh my gosh, I stand, and I forgot how many hits Keith Sweat had, but Keith Sweat was such a bitch to fucking Bobby Brown. He was trying to get that nigga to drink. You know that nigga is like on the sobriety pad, like he don't drink, he don't do anything.
I know that.
Yes.
He could be. But then again, if he wasn't sober, I think we all understand. We understood back then because like, okay, he's the party guy, but if he ever needed a drink more than any time, I think we all understand, like, now we get it.
Yeah, because it has been a rough, 7 years for him?
It's been a rough life, I'll say.
Okay, you are absolutely right. Bobby Brown, Keith was like throwing darts the whole time, talking about, man, you out of breath. You can't sing alone. You got to lean on this. Just like, and then he kept trying to get him to drink, And I was just like, Keith Sweat, you were just as big as Bobby Brown. Like, how still in the midst of this, are you still jealous of this nigga? Like, you look good for your age. Like, you can look at him and see that he's been through the ringer. Like, didn't his other son pass away like last year? Didn't Bobby Brown Jr. pass away last year, overdose?
I think it was like last year or something. It was recent. Yeah, something like that. So that's why I was saying, like, yeah, with everything that's happening, especially up to recently, like, we would understand if you want to have a drink. But Keith Sweat turns up. Like, that man, they always talk about how he's partying and things in the industry. Like, he turns up, so he like, come on, I'm on this drink, I'm feeling good. Like, I need you to be on this drink with me. Like, that's apparently Keith Sweat.
All that whining gets on my nerves after a while. So I can listen to like 2 Keith Sweat tracks probably in the same sitting, but then I probably got to come revisit it in a couple of weeks because it is so much whining.
That's what he was known for. He just made that type of music. I think, like, the thing is, back in the day, I think most people just kind of knew their lane. They might go over here and do this type of song this night. Whereas some of these artists now, they just kind of do a lot of everything.
Yeah.
But that was his lane. Like, he was gonna make love to you. He was gonna beg for it. He was gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, it sound like that, but
I would fuck Brian McKnight over
Ooh.
Keith Sweat. See?
I don't know. I feel like for Keith Sweat, for him to be 69.
Oh, he's 69? Keith
He's
Sweat is
60.
not that old.
Wait, is it 59 or 69? It's
He
one of the
probably
nine.
59 because
I think okay, it's 59.
he
59,
gotta be
59.
59 because Whitney Houston was what, only 50 when she died. That was like 10 years ago.
Why am I thinking about 59? But I think it is 59. He's
Because
about, but no,
you
he
were
about to
free.
be he about to be 60. So he looks good for
Yes, he's
his age.
59. He do.
Yeah, 59.
He,
So
he can use a good detox though.
I Bobby could use a good
Oh,
detox.
absolutely. And so could I. Bobby, you want to detox together? Let me stop. That's a married man.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at least Keith Sweat still got it. He still looks good. He still got his shape. You know what I'm saying? He's still slim.
I will
I
say,
give it to him.
like I said, like I like Keith Sweat. I love the Drake transition into Make It Last Forever.
He did that.
That nigga, that's like his favorite thing of all time because he said that several times. So he's like, "But I'm gonna like King Keith Sweat," you know, like. But I think that was dope. But Bobby Brown, like, man, just hits, just hits.
I mean, so do you feel like who do you feel like won?
I'm not even gonna say it's a win thing. You know, oh, this person won. I just think that I was just so highly entertained. I just enjoyed that moment because it was a good time. It was funny. They both were very funny. Still nothing.
And they singing each other. Bobby singing Keith Sweat songs, and but I like that they still had their microphones, but they knew not to sing too much. Like,
yeah,
that's like the thing that, and I know, like, I loved it when Patty and Gladys did it.
Yeah.
They are true singers. Now, no shade to Ashanti and Keisha Cole, but we never asked y'all to sing live. I don't know why y'all felt like y'all needed to because Gladys and Patty did, but really, nobody was asked to really sing live or perform live. We just wanted y'all to play the songs and talk about it. But I love how they did it. Like they knew like to be quiet. They didn't sing the whole song all the way through. They knew when to play some, sing a little bit, sing each other's songs a little bit. It was perfect to me.
Yeah, I think that was the takeaway because you know, like you said, I think that's also why, because we forget how verses even came about. Like we were talking about all of like the old school verses, and how they was just playing music. Nobody was singing along. Even when Teddy Riley's the one that started this shit because he was the one trying to have the whole stage production, and Babyface was just sitting in his studio like, I ain't got to do all of that.
I'm just trying to play the songs for y'all. I just came here to dance with y'all. That's it.
That's it. But I will say, like, nothing beats the Earth, Wind, and Fire Isley Brothers because Steve Harvey made that a lot of fun because his ass was drunk off of that Ciroc. Him kicking the ice bucket, pouring the liquor on stage. I feel like we talked about it. It was a good time for me because I was just like, I could watch this again because he's acting a whole ass fool and I'm here for every minute of it. He just like the drunk uncle at the barbecue. I had a great time. So
I didn't watch all of that one, but I watched enough and I was just like, okay, Steve. Like, I guess it was entertaining for, for what it was.
Yeah.
Just like the comments are always entertaining. And I remember I saw somebody tweet when they were announcing that Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat were going to do a versus. Somebody was like, I hope Steve Harvey ain't hosting this one. Like, it's like, why did we even need a host? But I get that was like a special, like Easter, old school type event. So it was like, okay. But I had a whole argument with one of my friends about who started the whole verses. The whole time, I thought the very first one was with Jill Scott and Erykah Badu. And it was not the very first one. It was like others before that. I was like, wow. Like we had a whole argument. But
I
It
believe
was
it, I
still,
believe it was
I
was it
forgot who it
was it
was.
T-Pain?
I don't think they were the very first ones, but they were before. I think T-Pain was before Jill Scott
Yeah,
and everybody.
T-Pain, um, and Sean Garrett, I believe that's who he went up against.
No, Sean Garrett went against. Oh, did he?
Somebody went against Neo, but
Neo went against Jonte Austin.
Austin, yes.
Yeah, but anyway,
Oh yeah,
I like
T-Pain, I
to.
believe he went up. Yeah, so it was a lot.
I like to see. I like how the versus has expanded, how it's grown, how they've kind of tweaked and changed as each one goes. Now, I didn't watch the Bow Wow and Soldier Boy one.
I heard it was a hot ghetto mess.
Of course, I don't need, and yeah,
I don't know what I was doing that day where I couldn't tune in,
it
but
was like a Saturday, which I'm like, I wish that y'all would pick like, I don't know how they pick these days.
right.
Like I get like some of the days it's like, okay, it makes perfect sense. Like the Earth, Wind, and Fire and Ozzy Brother ones. For that to be on Easter and on a Sunday, okay, that makes sense. They be dressed up, Sunday's best. That makes a little bit of sense. But like the ones they try to do on Saturdays, it gets a little iffy. Or like when they do it in the middle of a week, like I think the Bobby Brown Key Sweat, it was like on a Thursday. And
Yeah.
it's like, damn, most people will forget about it because like this random weekday.
And I guess they were like thinking of the holiday probably but I was like, oh, I could have done this on a Thursday, like a Friday or a Saturday and been,
Yeah.
cool. But then I was like, well, in hindsight, I ended up kind of like moving around a little bit. So I was like, okay, that's why they did it. But it was,
Yeah.
like I said, I had a bomb ass time.
I just only saw the I know they talked about it on Dish Nation where the Brad she had came out. Um so they mostly talked about her part. They said that Billboard or whoever was saying that Bow Wow won, but yeah, I didn't catch that one. But I kind of want to go back and watch some of the other ones that I hadn't seen or didn't even know about. But I like the verses. It's been pretty entertaining, even in the comment section. Like Prima Donna is there every single time selling her stuff.
Tony Baker there acting a fool. It's so
Tony
funny
Baker.
because I hit my homegirl. I said, "Hey, where Tony at?" Because Tony has COVID.
Really?
Yeah,
He has
Tony.
a night right now?
Yeah, so Tony got COVID at the end of June, like him and his wife.
Wow.
And I think it kind of hit them a little hard because he said today was like the first time he really could like do anything, but he said he lost some weight. So yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So
That's
I was
crazy.
like, somebody call Tony Baker and check on him because he's not in these comments. And that's one of the best parts.
It
But then
is.
he hopped in and was like, oh, I just woke up from a nap. So
Yeah, it's usually always the same people. Missy Elliott is always there. I saw the Eve versus Trina.
okay.
That one was good. It was just they were just going back to back to back. They weren't stalling too much. I don't know. I've been liking the verses and the comments. I like to catch it when they do it live because you do get to see the comments. Now, when you go back on their Instagram and watch it, you don't get to see all the comments. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. Well, you mentioned Wendy Williams earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And Wendy Williams has now found herself in the middle of a little graceful but spicy clapback from Miss Tabitha Brown.
Graceful. That's a good one.
And I love how people always start things off. We know Wendy gonna throw the shade. I don't know who Tabitha Brown is, but I know that she retired her husband and pretty much
Well, she wants to retire her husband.
No, she retired her husband. There's a whole celebration about it. She
They did it. Oh,
she did
so,
it. There's a whole retirement party. Yeah, she did it.
Okay, because when the story came out, she was telling him she wanted to retire him. So now she's actually done.
She was doing it anyway. She was doing it because
okay.
Yeah. So Tabitha Brown woke up to a lot of text messages and missed calls the other day, and Tabitha hopped her patootie right onto Instagram, and she still had her morning voice on. And, she was wondering what was going on. What, everybody sending her like this clip of pretty much, like I said, Wendy Williams telling her this is a terrible idea because now this nigga is gonna really nig. So Tabitha Brown, pretty much just read of herself in the most graceful way, telling her that that's your shit and that's what happens when you don't put God first in your relationship. We know that Wendy has had a very tumultuous marriage to her ex-husband. What's his name? Kevin? Yeah. And damn, was both of their dudes named Kevin? What's Wendy? I don't know.
I don't know Tabitha's husband's name.
Tabitha's husband is very attractive though.
I haven't seen him.
Oh, I'll send you a picture of him. He's very attractive. He worked for the LAPD for like 15 years. And he got a job as a cop. And they came to LA because she wanted to pursue her career in entertainment, which is what she's doing now, and so those checks are looking really hefty and nice. So she was able to, hey, this is what we agreed upon. We got it. You ain't got to work for the cops no more. Like who really wants to have their husband working, especially Black, in this climate anyway? Like, let's just keep it a buck.
Yeah.
But Wendy, I don't think, Wendy was loud and wrong, but what happened is that I feel like she started to project a lot of her trauma from her marriage onto Tabitha, and that's where she had her fucked up.
Okay, I'll say this. So, yes, when Wendy Williams talked about this, the clip that Tabitha put out about retiring her husband, I feel like Wendy should have just talked about it, but yes, she might have projected, but she didn't have to tell Tabitha, like, your marriage is not going to last and he's going to do this.
Right.
She should have said, that's nice. Because, I mean, for any couple, who wouldn't want that? Or any marriage, like, who wouldn't want their partner to support them? You support that. Like, that's what y'all should be doing.
Right.
Now, because it did, and she could have just said, good luck with you. Hopefully it works out. In my situation, it did not work out. She could have said it, she could have worded it differently. It came out very bitter, like she was projecting. And it's only funny, it was to me funny because it's like Wendy Williams, like if you know how animated and extra she is, it's funny because it's shady. She still throws shade. Like any little time she get to throw shade, she throws shade. And she was gonna do that, but this sweet woman, Tabitha, didn't deserve her to be like, girl, it ain't gonna last and don't do that. But Tabitha did. She definitely took the high road. She said, like you said, gracefully, she said, I'm gonna pray for you and things like that. Yep. Now, I hadn't heard of Tabitha until the pandemic. I heard she do these videos. I started following her, but I still don't get to like her page as much. I like see it here and there. But I'm loving her. They've given her a role on The Chi. She's on the new season of The Chi.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I am loving her role on there. Like, first of all, The Chi is just good, period.
Okay, I have to get into it. I never got into it.
Oh, yes, this is season 4. And, they've got Lala's in it. Candy is in it. Candy joined last season.
Okay.
Candy's in it this season. It's been a lot of cameos. What's his name? I know it's not Omari Hardwick, but it's the one that's married to Tia Mari. Isn't his last name Hardwick?
Corey.
It's not
Corey Hardwick.
Corey Hart. Yeah, he's in it.
I was like, who that white dude? I forgot.
No. That's Tamara. That's why I was
I'm
like Tia.
forgetting. My bad. My bad. My bad.
Yeah. But no, it's got so many, but Tabitha is doing really good. But just to see how graceful she was with her response, it was just like everything, she definitely took the high road. So I commend her for that.
Yeah, I might, because when she said that I'm gonna pray for you, God bless you, man, they put that over on the Ether beat by Nas. Man, I was like, woo, child.
I need to hear that. That's what you need to send me. I need to hear that.
I'll definitely send it to you. I just one can only pray to be so graceful and passive, like, girl, what we got going over here, you ain't ever gonna know nothing about this. Cause she was like, I pray that you find somebody that sees you. And I was like, oh,
okay. Like Tabitha is all around goals. Like, yeah. Even with how she's, regardless of how she addressed Wendy, but even like her marriage is goals, her career, things like that, like her lifestyle, it's just goals for a lot of people out there. Like, at the end of the day, how can you be mad at someone trying to do better for themselves and for their husband and their overall marriage? Right. You know what I'm saying? It might not, and she might be taking a risk. Who knows what? He could have been doing what he wanted to do when he was a police officer, but they still been together for like 23 years. Yeah. So what's the difference with, her supporting him? He supported her. And why would she not support her husband in return? It's fair at the end of the day.
It is. And that's what comes when we think about dating and relationships. That's where like equally yoked comes into play, and you have somebody that's on the same level as you. And it is like she said, like when you dealing, when God is the foundation of your relationship, where y'all foundation was money, like y'all was just trying to get money together, and unfortunately that was the demise of y'all relationship. Like, nigga, you taking the money that he feel like he probably is owed, that he earned just as much as you did, buying bitches Maseratis. Like,
I still don't understand, like, okay, she might have loved Kevin, like Wendy might have loved Kevin, had a kid by him and supported him and all this other stuff, but you saw how he was treating people. Like, your staff was even scared of this man. You saw how he treated people every day. You saw how he treated you. You saw how he treated different celebrities. Like, everybody didn't want to interview with her. Everybody didn't want to come onto the show. She couldn't do certain things. Like, she talks about this new life that she has all the time, and people now they're, not as afraid, or people are more open to her now. Hey, you saw how this man was doing. So you chose that. You chose to be with a man like that. So you can't project that onto somebody else, that they have a good love and, marriage and situation. You chose to be with somebody that was like that. Not saying that his behavior meant that he was going to cheat on you, but you should have been expecting the worst anyway, this whole time.
Yeah. But what you said is the main thing that, well, I didn't mean to be pointing my finger at you, that people, especially women, deal with, in relationships. A lot of times we don't pay attention to the red flags. It looks like Six Flags. It looks like a fun time still. And it's just like, like when we see movie trailers, you saw this preview and you saw that there's, just based on these random encounters that you are having with this person and what they're showing you, that's who that person is. When somebody tells you the first time and they show you, you better believe them. But we get excited because we get dickmatized. He eats your pussy good. And you wanna dive head in, and it's a train wreck. And you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna still get my, my fairy tale, my happy ending. And it's just like, no, you're not. You're not.
I'm not in agreement with you, because I know that's how you all do. I'm not in agreement because I relate. But because I don't do that. I don't do like that in relationships, but I do see a lot of like my female friends. Like, I feel like, or I think I just see this across the board, period. Like, women, you all really do put up with a lot. And it's like, I don't see like half the time, like, okay, like I have a friend who will tell me about a guy who she's probably been messing with years and how he did this, and I'll be like, I just be waiting for her to finish. I'm just like, okay, and what else is new? Or like, well, what do
I'm
you
trying to do
expect?
better, Byron. I'm trying to do
I'm
better.
not
Don't
talking
follow
about
me
you.
out.
I would have
But see,
said
that's
you,
the
but
thing. Like, but I think the difference, like even in our relationship, like the stuff we talk about and what we've been through, we know it's bullshit, and we just be like, but you know what? This is why I do, and this is that's why I be acting the way I act, and like, and it just be funny.
yeah,
I guess
you have to laugh it off, and
yeah,
then
you
like
do.
you have to get over it. You have to go through it. You have to get over it so that you can look back on it and learn from it, and so that you can laugh back at it. But I think for women, I will say you guys are soldiers because yes, you guys put up with a lot, but I think a lot of times, you guys know, I mean, realistically, things are not perfect. Relationships are not perfect. People are not perfect. And I think it's all about, you kind of like playing this game. Like, okay, if I just stick in there with it, if I keep going through with it, it can just like a job. When you first started off, it could be, crazy. But as you go along, it's like, oh, this job is nothing. I got this and I know how to do all that. So I think sometimes it's all about trusting yourself sometimes, but I think some women get caught up in, I want to be married. I just want to have a man. I want to be, and they tolerate certain things that don't need to. So you really do have to take your time. And it is, like you say, it is about being equally yoked, but you have to date. You have to find out, is that person on the same page? Are you getting as much out of this relationship as I am? So that I'm not just looking crazy and dealing with your shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How does this benefit both of us?
Right. No, that's absolutely true, because it's funny because when we find ourselves like looking at what's happening, Summer Walker, had the baby by London on the track.
I don't feel bad for her.
I don't either, because she knew.
She definitely knew. Now, you're not even his first baby mama. And the baby mamas tried to warn you.
They told you.
They done already told you.
And you
just thought because you the newest one and that can't be me, that you wasn't gonna be in the same situation that they in, and look at you.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that you got probably is just a little more money than them. And the fact
and you made good music. You got good music out the situation because he produced, y'all did that. I will say that y'all did that.
Yes.
But as far as the whole relationship and having the baby, you should have known better. Because you was already warned.
You should have known better. But
okay.
because it's just so funny, because now she, in her feelings, because now he's hanging back out with the baby mama. And it's just like, now you done had them try to prepare the relationship, everybody's getting along and all this stuff. I was like, don't be inserting yourself in business that you don't belong in. It's one thing if you was really looking to build a future with this man and you're like, hey, things are strained between you and your kid or something, like that's one thing to deal with it because of the kid. And you're like, you're better than this. I see your potential. I see your worth. And I think it's important for you to have this great relationship with your kid. That don't mean that means he needs to be able to kind of also have a cordial relationship with the baby mama. And now they in cahoots together. And it's just like, you mad because the girl deleting comments off her, her post, and you trying to go, it ain't worth all of that, sis, because you already even acknowledged that I fucked up. You win some, you lose some, and you live and you learn. But it's like, life is already hard. Why make it harder? And a lot of times, like, we as women, we gotta wise up and stop being silly when it comes to men. Because we always find ourselves with egg on our face, like we look stupid, and it's just like, his mouth could be saying one thing. I always tell people that, and a lot of my girlfriends that's been in like crazy shit, I'm like, yo, like, I'm telling you as a real friend, nobody else is gonna tell you, but what you saying, it ain't making no sense. So I'm like, you can do what you want to do, but you can't keep calling me with that bullshit because I ain't told you. So
Right.
it's just a mess. Because look, when you really think about it, like even over the weekend, like the past week, some shit even went down with Lil Uzi Vert with this other rapper named Saint John about his ex. Nigga, you got a whole ass girlfriend that you are hella possessive over and controlling. Which is low-key, I feel like sometimes it's altered the energy of the city girls because you was coming at Miami crazy, because I don't want to call her first name because she ain't gonna cuss me out.
Well, tell the story of that.
I'll tell you the story. So pretty much they was at some restaurant. Lil Uzi was at some restaurant in WeHo, West Hollywood, to the people that don't know. Out here in LA, and he ran into his ex-girlfriend and St. John at this restaurant. I'm pretty sure some sort of argument, took place. And apparently he went to swing on St. John, but hit Brittany like several times. And then
not several times.
Yeah. And I'm like, yo, look, see, I be telling people, leave them short niggas alone. Because they always got some sort of complex. They always trying to be the big man, always got to prove, nigga, you a pussy ass nigga. Like the only person that I believe that's a G for real, that's short, is motherfucking T.I. and Floyd Mayweather. That's it. Everybody else, fuck y'all.
I'm gonna just say Floyd. I'm gonna just go with Floyd.
Well, yeah.
T.I. definitely act like a short. He definitely acts like a short.
Okay, guy. So yes, but he's very, as if both.
But you saying like he about it, like he,
like T.I. about it. T.I. got the jail record to prove that he about it.
Yeah, you're right.
But you know what I mean. So like now then there was like a gun. I don't know if he pulled the gun or if it fell out of his purse, but his ex-girlfriend had to be hospitalized. And then next thing you know, you on a flight out of LA to the Hamptons with your girlfriend. And I'm like, how you gonna have that's what I mean. And it's just like, y'all be doing too much. And it's just like, you want to do so much to prove that you're a man and that you run shit, but it's just like, JT, just like Summer, you seeing this preview and you seeing how he treating your homegirl like that. She held down City Girls when you was in jail, and here we are, and he talking reckless to her online, and I'm just like, I wish somebody would talk to you crazy. We don't go together no more.
Because like before he was around, her homegirl was there with her, and that goes back to what we're saying. Like you said. Yes, he is clearly showing her signs of who he really is. First of all, I don't even see them two together. I thought it was so random when I found out that Lil Uzi was going out with JT from City Girls. So random to me. I thought she would love her like a real hood nigga, not a nigga that just dresses hood and, looks like a hood nigga.
Does he dress hood? He just.
I mean, he got the look, like he got the tattoos all over the place. He
looked like a goth from 2001 that we was like, oh, that weird.
It's like that new hood. He might still wear the tight. Yeah, he's still gonna wear the tight jeans, but it's like hood. How they do the hood now, I don't fucking know. But it looks a mess. It just don't look like doesn't seem like I just don't see them two together. So I don't really see this relationship lasting. If I find out that they break up, I'm like, okay, I'm not surprised, and good for JT. I mean, yeah, they all young, so maybe she just like, oh, that's just him, and this and that. She probably just having fun anyway.
Yeah, his can't be that bomb.
I don't think it's all. But my thing is, when the dick, the dick will have you overlooking a lot of things.
Have you been in a situation, Byron, where dick had you overlooking a lot of things?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because when the situation was no longer, and I look back on it, it's like certain things just made sense. Like when I go back in my mind and think about different situations, it's like, that made sense. Oh, yep, that made sense right there. But I didn't care. Like I was having fun. The dick was good. Um, it was a good time. I definitely don't have any regrets.
Okay.
Uh, I would probably do it all over again, but still, I would probably do it. I mean, I would do it all over again, but I learned. I
Yeah.
learned something from this. I definitely learned something from the situation, but yeah, there were some signs.
Wow. I don't think I ever really been digmatized because I feel like if I saw myself get in there, it would be some shit that would happen, and I was like, "See, that's why you a bitch ass nigga." Like,
Okay, but wait, you might not think of it as being digmatized,
do
but
you think
there.
I'm digmatized?
No, I'll just say this.
No,
I'm
you
not.
my best friend. I tell you everything, so I'm
Well, no,
like,
no, no. I will say this. I'm not saying that you are or have been digmatized. What I would say is I feel like sometimes I think the definitions can get a little blurry. Like you may think that, oh, it's just a dick thing and the person has, but if you've been dealing with somebody for a while
uh-huh.
and you like what they bring to the table and you can see yourself, like once you've had your mind made up on this person and all the good things that they bring, that can kind of be, it might not be considered maybe digmatized, but you enjoy the sex, you enjoy them, you enjoy what they bring to the table. And that can, even all those things can have you overlooking
Mm,
other things. You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that you're in that situation or have been, but sometimes I feel like people can be in a situation like a person can be good, but then it's like them that bad behavior, even though it might, I don't know, it just sometimes be certain things.
Okay. All
Do it
right.
make sense?
It makes perfectly good sense to me, but we also vibrate on another level. So-
I think the difference, and I'll say the difference with with the situation that I was describing. I will say that was a digmatizing situation because yeah, it started off as a sex thing, but as we kept going, like yes, we enjoyed each other's company. You
okay.
know, I grew to actually like this person. I enjoyed them when there wasn't any sex involved. But even through all the certain things that would go on, certain behaviors that I didn't like, I overlooked some things over that time period, and it was
Oh.
because. So that's why I would say in that situation, I guess I would consider that being digmatized because yeah, I overlooked a lot of things.
I mean, it happens to the best of us, but like you said, like if you live, you learn. It's a lesson, and you know how to kind of manage going forward.
Yeah, I
So
know I won't bring that. I know there's certain things I know to look out more for in the future, and it's like nah, because I've been there, done that. I already know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I just know how to
yeah,
move a little differently. So that's why I said I don't regret it.
yeah. No, I feel like the one time I remember uh kind of getting to that point, it was with the person that will always do this with their dreads that you will always talk about. He was like, see that shit, and I'm like, burn it. And then like, you remember I called you in the middle of the night, and I was like, oh
It
my
was
god,
some suspect things going
there
on.
was some
I
suspect.
mean,
Honestly, to this day, I believe there was some suspect things going on, and it might have only been with that person. I don't think it was a reoccurring thing, but I feel like there was definitely some suspect shit because I had this weird inkling about it. And I remember even asking him, I had a weird dream, and I was like, you know, I feel like that's a fair question to say. Like, have you ever thought about, like men in a different light? Like, you know, I think that's a fair question. If I'm dating you and we fucking it and it's 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, and your homeboy driving back in town from like an 8-hour drive from Detroit, why is his first stop your house? Go home and go to fucking bed. Wash that funk off your ass. So I think that was a fair question to ask. and he got how defensive he got. I was like, But, and then when he got married, remember that picture I showed you? I'm like, yo, homeboy look a little angry. So it might have just been the thing between them. So who knows? Niggas be
I would
gay.
definitely say, I think back then, I was a little bit more sensitive to that situation. I'm a little more lenient now. I would say, like, I think I just didn't want like my, any of my girlfriends or girl family members to deal with a guy that I felt like
Could have been
showed,
dead.
showed signs that they'd be playing for my team, basically. And I just don't want nobody, it's a lot that comes along with that life. And I didn't want any of you all to go through that. So I think because we were younger, we kind of nitpicked at things. But I don't know. I still feel like
No, that picture I showed you, I was like,
It just make you wonder. It just make you think. And like that picture, it's like after all these years, that was recent.
That was recent. That was
it's
hella
like,
recent.
ugh.
No,
Yeah.
that's for real. Like, cause I never want to, like I said, if it's something I know and I feel like because of you and like Rachel, like there are certain key things that that will go over like the average person's head that I'm like, oh, that was interesting. Like a buddy of mine like said something like recently to me, and he's been accused of kind of being like on the spectrum, and I was like, I could see that, like even his like, he's had people say, oh, maybe you really are this way and not the way. Now I ain't gonna accuse people, but he said something to me and I was just like, yeah, you might be a little, teetering. Yeah. Because there's certain things I feel like for Black men, because I feel like we live in this generation where Black men, like cis hetero Black men, are always trying to, be an alpha male and all of this shit, where it's just like, I was like, I don't know about
Sometimes
that.
it be too much. Sometimes they be trying to prove too much to the point where it make them look suspect. It's like, okay, I mean,
yeah,
they be just telling on themselves. It's like
nobody. Well, no, this person was like telling on themselves, and I'll tell you offline. But I was just like, yeah, you definitely teetering, and that's okay. That is do your thing.
Okay.
Be who you are, but you can't do that.
We need to. I just wish that now we would just, if we can allow people to just be open with not only with coming to terms with who they are, owning who they are, and also owning the fact that they might not know, or they might be trying to figure some things out. It shouldn't always have to be, well, are you either this or you're that, or
well, but we live in a society like throughout the world is like that. But if they can't box you in somewhere, then it's a problem. Like everybody has to fall into some sort of category, which is a very outdated way of, like moving, because
thinking and going back. Yeah,
because there's so many avenues that you can travel down, and you can just be who you want to be. Mm-hmm. Or I want people to be comfortable. Let's say if there was a guy that dabbled, and he realized like, oh, this ain't really my thing. Like, we shouldn't judge men because that happened. Because everybody is okay with two women, but it's just like, if it's two men, it's an issue. Gay is gay.
Gay is gay, but bi is bi, and curious is curious.
Curious is curious. And so, straight men always say this thing, well, that's gay. And I'm like, but so is that porno that you watch. Man, no, that's different. No, it's gay. It's still gay. So you be dabbling in gay shit. It might not be two men, but it's gay.
Girl, straight niggas be doing gay shit all the time.
All the time.
all the time. They don't even know it. Like they be picking up on behaviors, things that they ain't even know, don't even know the origin or where it came from. They just be doing the shit. That's gay. And they do it all the time. It's like, okay.
I know. I just like, oh, all right.
Right.
So, I mean,
I be minding my business. I'm like, I ain't even trying to figure it out. If I'm not dealing with you like on that level, I don't have nothing to figure out. That's on you.
Yep. And that's just really how I feel. But I'm just like, but if you coming over here, I'm like, you kind of need to know what you're doing, like, because I ain't about to be. I remember it was a guy back in the day when we was in college that wanted to talk to me. And he was honest. He said that he was bisexual. Now he's just fully gay. But I just was like, I don't have no interest in that. And he was just like, why? Why not? And I was like, because I not only have to worry about you cheating on me with women, you add men into the, like, I'm not about to be doing all of this. I'm like, but that's just my comfort level. So I'm like, you have to respect and understand that. I'm like, we could be cool, but I'm just not interested, in my mind. And I know at that, like you said, we were young. And
I'm laughing because I know who it is. And I know the situation.
I remember he kissed me that night, like trying to change my mind. And
wait, I didn't know he kissed you.
Oh, nigga, he kissed me. And I was just
on the lips?
Yes, in my mouth.
And you let him?
No, I didn't say, it wasn't like he said, can I kiss you? And I said, yeah. No,
he
just did it. And I was just like, that definitely didn't help your case.
Now, see, he was bold because not only was he upfront with you that said he was, but I think that might have been the only thing I respected about him is that he was honest about that. But he was trying to holler at you and trying to holler at my friend at the time, who was a guy.
See, you see what I mean?
I'm like, you're doing a lot at this one party, and all of us is around here together. Like, you were doing a lot. Oh, by the way, we were gonna record the show yesterday, but we didn't because I was having a gnat issue. And today the gnats are still gnatting. Okay. They still damn flying around. I feel like every time I kill one, another one, two more come and pop up to the funeral. Like,
did you try my way without the vinegar in the cup without the cover?
I tried all that. The vinegar, that didn't do shit. Like them gnats was like, you still doing that vinegar trick? Like that don't work.
Well, so did you use just white vinegar or did you use apple cider vinegar?
I used the apple cider vinegar.
That's weird. Because I use apple cider vinegar and it works.
They might have been going to the cup around the cup, but when I checked back with them, gnats was nowhere to be found. They like, we not falling for that.
Damn.
Them gnats is smart. So I
bet it's coming up through your sink. So I would probably maybe put the stopper over it.
Something, but I've been I put bleach. I feel like the bleach calmed it down. I don't know, but I've been sitting here this whole time. It's like been one. I tried this whole time. Y'all see me when I just did like that. That was shooing because I ain't been paying them no attention. It's been flying around, but
it's like, Dusty, please don't bother me.
Right. But the gnat said, oh, I know what you're doing. I know you got this light and everything. Yeah. Right. So anyway.
Nigga, that is hilarious. No, I didn't even know that happened. I didn't know he was trying to talk to anybody else at that party. But that's
he was trying to talk to my friend who at the time that was there. Yeah, I thought he was definitely trying to come after both of y'all. I was peeping it, but I was in my own. I feel like I was in my own world because still the night is still fuzzy. There was a lot of drinks being drunk that night.
There is, I have a photo of that night, and I think it's me, you, maybe Jessica and Rachel. I have to find it and send it to you because I have a guy that I grew up with that I was talking to kind of at the time. He pulled up because he lived around the corner because we was in Delaware. Oh, okay. So, I almost fell. But
you're not sitting down on the.
I am sitting down, but the cushion that's sitting on this slid, and I slid with it. Uh, but that was definitely, like you said, like parts of it was kind of like blur, but I had a good time. Like I had man, those college parties was the best. The ones where we was not getting shot at.
That was a house party though.
That was well, we were still in college. It was everybody
Well,
from
yeah,
college,
you're right.
but where we did not have to risk our lives to have a good time. Child.
Right.
So I want to send a little prayer to Britney Spears. She's been battling this conservatorship for some years now, since she had that breakdown. What was that? I feel like that was 20 years ago almost.
It's a long time. I think they said 2000. Was it 2008? I don't know.
I thought, I don't know.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time, but change gonna come.
Yeah.
That she went to court last week, trying to get her father removed from it, and just trying to get it removed in general. Britney Spears pretty much has no access to her money. She can't go anywhere without permission. They forced her to do that residency in Vegas. You have an IUD involuntarily. She wants to get married. You have to approve everything, like her father. And it's just like really unfortunate and fucked up, because like a conservatorship is something that they put in place when somebody is elderly, or shows signs of, or maybe something happens where, maybe somebody is kind of like, something happens, they get brain damage, they can't function on their own, so they need somebody to make decisions for them, to handle their finances and all of that stuff. And because of this breakdown that she had, mainly because she was overworked, and just wanting to, like live her life, and people would not leave her alone. Fuck you, Justin Timberlake, because you was making fun of her back in the day. And they put this in place, and it's just really, really sad and unfortunate. And it's just really, just even how it even came into place was really messed up. Like within 10 minutes, like she was like, I guess like in a hospital, and her parents like went to court and pretty much signed her like rights away, because they felt like she was incompetent and incapable of handling her kids, her finances, all that stuff. So that's really sad. So
I do feel like the situation is sad, but the conservatorship thing is very serious. They would not have put it in place in the first place if it was not something serious. Britney at the time clearly showed signs that she was not able to handle all of those things on her own. That's why they had to put someone in place. Where things get blurry or where things seem strange is, okay, that was a long time ago.
Yes.
However, you have to look at what's been going on now. Now, the only time I've seen Britney be normal is when she's performing. And when she did the residency, she seemed normal. Now, when she makes those little Instagram videos and those little TikTok, I think she might do TikToks or whatever. She looks a little disheveled sometimes. She looks a little off at times. And it might still be because she's had some downtime. Life might be setting in. It's still a lot of things. So I don't get I just don't get like how fully the conservatorship works, because it's like, okay, if she was this way back then when they put it in place, how is she able to work and prove that she no longer needs to be on it? Or is this something that you are permanently on? And even then, back then, I feel like all the things that led her to that, getting the conservatorship, wasn't everything. Everything was not her fault. It was the media. It was paparazzi. A lot of things led her to that. Right. But besides the conservatorship, Brittany doesn't even have she doesn't even have her children.
Right.
She doesn't get her children full time. Like, Kevin, her, baby daddy, he gets those two boys, and he's the one who was
It's
receiving
something
the
about
child
those
support.
Kevins.
You're right. He was the one receiving the child support. So yeah, she may be able to work, but she's not even able to have her kids full time.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where did the IUD thing come from, because how was that even right? To like make somebody not have a baby, which I guess they feel like, well, if you're not able to take care of these other two, why do you need to have a third? And then how are you going to pay for this baby now when you're not working? So it's just a lot of.
She got money, and that nigga
Yeah,
is
she has money, but
money. She got money. Britney Spears at this moment is worth. I'm going to Britney
30 million. I don't know. It might be more. I don't know why I said 30.
It says as of 2021, she is worth 115 mil.
115.
Yeah.
Oh, I really gave her low. I don't know why I said only 30.
Yeah. I'm like, Britney's, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but that ain't even her. That's her daddy. Like,
well, that because he forces her, like she said, like kind of into these fucked up ass situations. But I just think that it's just not fair, like you said, like, but what this speaks volumes to is just like, again, men being in control, want to be in control of like women's bodies, like, change, telling us what we need to do, what we can't do. Cause it's just like she wants to get married. She wants to be able to have a kid with this person that she's, engaged to. And like as far as you saying that she's disheveled, I know somebody that used to do her makeup. And apparently like she and I'm sorry, I worded that wrong. I don't know anybody. I know somebody that knew somebody that did her makeup, but she kind of has like, she's just like us. She be having anxiety and she can't sit still long enough for them to like really like be her face, which is why you'll see like eyeliner or something under there, or, under her eyes. And it's just like this raccoon eyes, so, I just think it's fucked up because I feel like, okay, y'all really didn't even evaluate her to even be in the situation. You're just seeing like just her response and stuff, like you said, like I'm in this box. Y'all want to leave me the fuck alone. You got this person that I dated that's clearly stealing his feelings about some bullshit, spreading lies. And I don't have anybody really in my corner. Like I went through this crazy breakup with my husband, who now I gotta give child support and alimony to. And then he got back, because then he get back with Shar Jackson. I think they got back together briefly after that.
It might have been a drive-by situation. I think she was so hurt by him. I remember she talked about that. She was so hurt by him. I don't know, unless she did it for like, because of the money or whatever. I didn't think she would get back with him.
Niggas always spin the block. They always do. Shout out to Naya for that line. But it's just one of those things where it's just like kind of like, I feel like at this age, like you said, it's unfortunate at this time, like it really needs to be taken away. Like, or like, can you really just put what I'm telling you into consideration? Because it was just like, to me, it was like the judge really didn't give a fuck. And then you flicking it up on her dad. Like, what did he
Which
pay?
is crazy. I think they had to like,
they need to take her off the case.
I feel like there should be an evaluation. Like they do need to evaluate, like, is Britney okay now? Like, is she able to take control of her own life?
Yep.
But I guess they're saying, well, how do we know? Maybe they're like, how do we know she won't end up back in the same situation again? How was she going to handle the public differently? And I feel like when it comes to her finances, I think they wanted to do it, like give it to a family member, which I'm like, well, why not her mother? Because I don't think her parents.
At this point, I feel like if sis go broke, she go broke. She grown. Like we all make adult decisions. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's fucked up, like that her mama ain't stepped in and really said shit for real. Her sister ain't really stepped in and said shit for real. Like her parents are not even together no more.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And when you review, like Homeboy always kind of seemed like money hungry based on the documentary when they was talking to like her assistant and then her first agent, you know. So I just feel like, you know, sometimes our parents, like they don't want what's best for us and they have a lot of ill will. And we have to get out of that space of, oh, well, it's your parents, it's your grandparents. That's not to my people. But you know what I mean?
I know. And at the end of the day, it may not even have nothing to do with Brittany herself. It's all about the daddy and how he feels. And he probably grew up, because then they grow up somewhere country. He probably ain't used to having money and having no control. He has money now. He got control. He not finna get it up. And I think the person that they said probably should have really had the conservatorship control was her lawyer, because the lawyer was, I think, the only person who in her life she trusted at the time, and this was before her current boyfriend.
Yeah,
it's like, why couldn't the lawyer do it? But I think they try to keep it in the family, but it's just a fucked up situation. Like,
I feel like if I was her, like something, I feel like one, they need to appoint somebody else. Like you said, I would not. I think it's fucked up. But if she was even willing to say, "Hey, I will take a, you know, test to prove that I'm okay," or whatever the case may be. But the moment she got off, I would have my books audited. I would see where he was spending money and because like, and it's expensive. Like conservatorships are mad expensive to like have like an attorney on that stuff, all that, like it's a lot of money. I would sue everybody involved because it's just fucked up. It's just like, you didn't really want what was best for me. You wanted what was best for you and what was convenient for you. And like you said, like, that's what it says. Like, that's what her net worth is. But how much of that does she really see? She don't see none of that. It's fucked up.
Right. Yeah, it's a sad situation. It's confusing. It's a lot of layers and variables to it. So yeah, we just have to pray, like, and pray that, like, as long as we are saying free Brittany, if she is free from her father, is she going to be able to stand on her own?
Yeah.
You know, even with her having a man on her side, is she going to be able to stand on her own? Because she just retired. Like she said, she's not doing music. That's why her manager just quit. This is all recently. Her manager is no longer her manager now. He quit because what am I managing if you're not going to go to work? So she said she's not going to because she doesn't want to bring in any more money to her father than she needs to. So she said, I'm just not going to work.
I know that's right.
But it's just sad because she still has fans. She's still able to make the money. She's still young. You know, it's sad. It's sad to see such a pop legend end up this way, and it seems like in such a short amount of time. Like, it seems like it's been a long time since all this has happened, but she really could still be thriving and out here. So
yeah, and I think that we could say that, like, I wouldn't even be opposed, because you know, it's so funny how like they don't want to allow certain things to happen, as if they can make like, okay, well, if we grant you this, here are the guidelines, these are the this is what we need from you. So even if it's like seeing a therapist, like, you know, 2 times a week or however many times a week, because we be so quick, just like, oh well, no. But it's just like, okay, if I have rehabilitated myself and I'm trying to prove my worth, like maybe that could be an option. Where that you can add to, you know, like, these are the guidelines. If you don't do this, the moment you miss this, if you're not sick or performing somewhere, or like, and you don't get it written off by the judge, we gonna put it back in place. You know what I mean? But shit, it's just fucked up.
Yeah. So I hope it all works out for her.
Yeah, I really hope it works out for her. Let's end it on a lighter, funny note. You know, Nick Cannon had his 20th child last week. Like, I get it, you dying, But as a kid that grew up whose biological mom had passed away, that shit is not fun for them kids. It's not fun. It will not be fun. Yes, they have videos of your movies, wilding out, all of that stuff. No, but I think you are crazy. And it's always so funny, you know, doctors always say, oh, this is terminal, blah, blah, blah. And your ass lives a full life. And you just got all these kids. And and yes, Nick Cannon has hella fucking money. Like he got hella money. But I'm like, my nigga.
This is my thing. So at first, you know, and this is before he had all the kids this year, you know, he had always said, I remember, because I love to watch celebrity interviews. So I remember him early, he would say, you know, he's always wanted to have a lot of children. Okay, cool, that's fine. But it gets to me, well, okay, I'll fast forward. They showed a recent interview he did talking about the whole thing. And he was saying, he has lupus. So he doesn't know how long he's going to live. So he's like, why not have these children? I think it's very selfish.
Man.
One, to know that if you feel like you're not going to live this long, why would you even want to have all these children? And why would you want all of these children to go on and not have a parent around? We already don't have 2-parent homes. You already have men, you already have family, parents and things going to jail. Mm-hmm. People die all the time. You got cancer. You got so many things are already happening. Why would you deliberately want to have these kids when you know that when you feel like you're going to die? That's not a reason. And it's nothing wrong with wanting to have multiple children, but your children are spread out. How do you spend time how do you spend holidays with all your children? You know, how do you give all of your children equal time? And then not even on holidays, because you can't just visit your children on holidays and just on birthdays. Children need you in between that time, and not just with a mother. They need a father too. Right. And now that you've had all these kids, you might have all this money, but you're still working. Like you're building to get all these, you're still working all the time. So you don't even have the time to spend with these children. And for him to make such a light of it and joke about it, it's not funny to me.
It's not funny.
It's not cute. You know, at least with Mariah, he was married, but these other women he not married to, I don't think it's cute to say, oh, I'm pregnant at the same time his other baby mom is pregnant. That ain't cute.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? The dick, and they might be dickmatized, because what else would it? This damn net is netting again. It's like, I don't know.
Maybe you need the bowl of vinegar at that table.
They really gonna be all coming over to it. A mess. But no, I just don't think, you know, I think they might be dickmatized in the thought that, oh, you know, as long as I'm, you know, pregnant by him and you know, everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna get this child support. I just hate that. It's just not cute. Like, these children are not pawns. These children didn't ask to be here. Right. I hope that he lives on, because regardless of him having kids, like, Nick has brought a lot to the culture, to entertainment. Right. I thoroughly enjoy him. I do like Wild 'N Out. I've enjoyed his movies. The music, maybe not so much.
I can't sing that either.
Exactly.
What was the other song he had? Exactly.
I can't even think. But anyway, I just love, they clown him all the time on Wild 'N Out. But, you know, and he's a nice guy. I'm sure the sex is probably amazing. But all these kids, it's just not, like, the fact that it's a huge story and he's laughing and joking about it.
I got a net.
It's just not cute. I think they came over to you. They said, oh, you want some of this?
This like some handyman type shit.
Crazy.
They say you said that like 3 times in a row.
Look, I'm already itching from the 4th of July weekend and being out in the mosquitoes got my ass. But when I even see bugs and hear about bugs, I just get to wanting to scratch myself. And but yeah.
No, I agree with you. I think it's selfish as fuck. I am a, you know,
But everyone seems happy. I mean, I guess for now.
That's true. Like,
I just feel for the children. Hopefully the children are happy. Hopefully they get, good enough time with their dad.
Hopefully they have relationships with each other and they can lean on each other.
And they have nice names. I don't remember all the names, but the names they've given, I'm like, okay, cool. Like there's some cool celebrity names.
Them twins that he just had, I think it was mad ghetto.
It was a little ghetto, but I'm like, okay, I forget what was the name. I'm thinking. I want to say something like, I don't know if it was Zillionaire.
Yeah, it was like one was like billionaire, and so I think it was billion.
Billion.
Somebody's like, how many twins?
I thought it was like Zion and Zillionaire.
It was like powerful queen.
I would not want to be called powerful queen.
I wouldn't want to be called billionaire. Like it's one thing you could have named that boy Maximilian, and then call him Max. No, see how easy you can make that regular Max.
But see, if anybody found out about the million part, it's like, oh nigga, well you got $1 million. Let me get $1 million. Let me get some money. I don't want to hear that shit. Like, don't put money in my name because if I go broke I don't want to hear the money jokes. If I grow up to be like, how them children might grow up and be struggling. People cut off they children all the time.
What it says? Okay, let's see Nick Cannon net worth.
No, I want to see the net worth.
Let's see Nick Cannon net worth. I mean, he like the president of Nickelodeon.
Right.
So,
because it's like Incredible Productions he got.
It says, his net worth is 30 million.
That's where I got the 30 from.
Okay. His salary
he ain't got Britney money.
He's 40 years old. He ain't got Britney money.
He ain't got Britney money.
Because somebody
30 as opposed to 115. I'm surprised.
But as of May 14th, it said that he actually is estimated to be 60. Because don't forget they bought Wildin' Out back. So I don't know how much he got for that, but I don't think it was 30 million. And I hope if they give him his show, he might get some residual for that because they always just replaying episodes.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of kids. Especially coming from somebody who don't want no damn kids.
Ooh. I want 1 million kids. I just want like one.
You just want one?
Yeah. I could do twins. A boy and a girl.
Now I will say that's beautiful to have twins. Everybody's not able to have twins, and he did it twice.
Yeah. Or maybe somebody did in vitro. I would assume. I don't know if Mariah Carey.
Well,
because
I don't know. I think his is natural.
Okay.
I think he might be natural. I don't see that with Nick Cannon with the way he go and the way with these women be acting. Even he had Jessica White. Beautiful model. White
so digmatized.
She was so digmatized. Like she was heartbroken. Like did a whole thing on Instagram. She was heartbroken. So I don't know. That dick worked to me. It got to. I think he naturally have them. I don't think they need no in vitro. His dick is the in vitro, okay?
Oh my gosh, I really hate you.
So yeah, I don't know, but hey, I'm just thinking about the children and hopefully they will grow up and be happy and they get their time in with their dad. So.
I am absolutely with you. Before we leave, I just want to say this to Felicia Rashad and to Black America. Claire Huxtable is not a real character. Neither is Heathcliff Huxtable. Bill Cosby is on the record saying that he was slipping things in these bitches' drinks. And he is not a hero. He is a monster. He is a rapist. And y'all gotta stop victim shaming people. Like the nigga got caught up. Like people always say this is not like it's nothing new. Niggas have known that this nigga was doing this for decades. So he wasn't trying to buy NBC. He got caught. What you do in the dark always comes to the light. Always. So with that said, he is not innocent. He got off on a technicality, and that's it. Like, the prosecutor said that they wasn't gonna like prosecute him or send him to jail if he had confessed. He did just that, and the new prosecutor was on the case and clearly did not know what the previous conversations were, and that's how this has happened. And he did 2 years, because if he was white, y'all be saying put him under the jail, blah 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 blah, and that's it. Like, what we know, what we love, like, it is all a fantasy. It's not real. And I feel like Felicia Rashad should lose her job. She's probably not gonna lose her job, but I feel like a lot of the incoming class is gonna make it very difficult for her at Howard, and that's it. So with that said, thank you for tuning into another episode of Whiskey Sour Libations and Conversations. Thank you, Vern, VP, for being my guest this week. It's always a great time. I love having you on so much. It's just so easy and so much fun. And candles are back. I'll put the link in the bio. It is saint-angeles.com/candles. I'm offering free shipping at the moment. So go get your candles. They smell amazing. I put a lot of hard work into this, a lot of effort, and I would appreciate your support. And shout out to, oh my gosh, let me get his name.
And the candles smell good, by the way. Well, the one that I bought, which I'm buying again, it's like, I forget the name.
Yeah, you have one from the last drop. So these are completely new scents.
I
got all new scents. Everything is new.
What?
Yeah, and then I'll be testing some stuff. You know, I'm thinking about adding a subscription service where, you know, you can replenish every so often automatically of your favorite scent. With those subscription boxes, I'm thinking of adding like extra goodies, like maybe scents that I'm testing out, or maybe you'll get a smaller candle of something that I already have in stock. But that's just an idea. I'm kind of, that's on my mind.
Yeah, it's new. It's a new business. So yeah, you're coming up with things, as you go.
Yeah. And shout out to Steve, who sent me some amazing lip glosses and product. I will post it in my stories. I will tag him, but he sent me this dope box, and all he asked me was, "Oh, I want to send you a lip gloss." And I was like, "All right, cool. So you can send it." And he sent all of this stuff: mascara, like I said, shorts, t-shirts, stickers, all of that. So I appreciate you all, Vernon. Tell them where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, so on Twitter and on Instagram, I am at vodka_villain. Check me out over there, hanging out, randomness, doing this and that, wherever the wind takes me. So you just gotta catch me while you can.
I love Vernon's commentary, VP's commentary, because when he watches shows, he tweets as he goes, and it is so freaking funny. We have to do an episode about BET's The Encore, because that mess, like, maybe we
I'm trying to do better with tweeting about everything, but I'll be watching so many things and doing other things. Like, I don't always tweet about everything, but if it's something that's new or type of show, like, I watch so many different things, I'm probably watching it, and so hit me up. We can discuss it on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we'll do.
Content. But yeah, the Encore on BET. Something else.
Maybe we could do a special episode when they wrap for the season, so we can kind of go through.
We'll talk about it all.
Yeah, talk about it all. Cause baby, I'm like, that Aubrey, them twins, 702.
And they've been having a little drama outside of the show by social media, because now you have people talking about the show. I think Nivea and Keely went live with Candy. So Candy interviewed them about the show. And because the twins weren't interviewed, they went live on their own and had their own things to say. So it's been a lot of things going
I
on.
definitely have to get into all of that mess.
Yeah. So yeah, we have to do that.
Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. And if y'all have anything that y'all want me to talk about, send me a DM on IG at Whiskey Sour. I do check the request. Don't be creepy. And like I said, like we got the candles. The other cool thing is the shop is linked to my blog site. So from time to time, I will be updating that. And it's more lifestyle and shit just that I want to talk about, and that's it. So I will see y'all next week. Bye.